Hey there folks, and welcome back to the Gamer's Grotto. Today we're going to be playing more of LA Noire. This is the PlayStation 4 version. We're going to be playing it on the PlayStation 5. So this is, in a sense, the HD 4K remaster of the 2011 game. So we've just started on the Homicide desk, so we're going to do at least 1 to 3 cases today, and then the rest another day. So let's go with some more of LA Noire.
All right, gentlemen, take your seats. Let's get this over before lunch. Floyd Rose of the Homicide Squad has decided to take early retirement. We will all miss Floyd and the steely edge he brought to his police work. The department has arranged a wee drink at the Galway Arms to quench the mighty thirst a man gets from 25 years of police work. Floyd's departure leaves a place at the top table, and the chief has seen fit to promote Cole Phelps from burglary to the homicide desk. Stand up, Phelps. Take a chair. You're in the major leagues now, Sonny. Rusty Galloway, a fine lawman of the old school, will be taking you under his wing. Your first case is the murder of a woman, found last night and bearing all the signs of the werewolf. Get out to the scene, lads.
Do you have the address?
It's been all over KGPL. It's off Temple Street, between Belmont and Glendale.
That's that cop. Seems like a decent guy.
That's that
I'd
cop.
rather you took the lead.
That's that cop, he says as he's sitting in a police station surrounded by thousands of cops. That's that cop. I know that cop. That's that cop. Oh my god.
What happened to Rose?
Parker wants the chief's job. Word is it's either going to be him or Thad Green. So they're both clearing the decks.
So where does that leave you, Galloway?
Leaves me saddled with a chump like you, Phelps. I didn't ask for you and I don't want you, so keep it to yourself. See if you can learn something about seeing how a real cop operates.
What did he mean by the werewolf?
The Dahlia. The Daily News came out calling him the werewolf killer. The Examiner came up with the Black Dahlia.
We any closer to catching him?
Not a chance. 6 months and hundreds of guys running down leads and we got nothing.
You don't think this has anything to do with it?
No, I don't. 90% of murders are domestic, Phelps. Some guy gets into a beef with his wife, he takes... Calm down! No, I don't. 90% of murders are domestic, Phelps. Some guy gets into a beef with his wife, he takes it too far. This will be the same. But cutting someone in half and leaving them off the sidewalk, that's a one-off.
Why so many women this year?
Because of the war. You should know that. Guy gets to kill people every day in combat. Comes home, He's expected to take lip from his wife. What do you think's going to happen?
It's that simple.
Like I said, most of the time it is.
How about a scoop for the Examiner, Galloway? You could use some good press.
Another tramp, another message. Is the werewolf back in business, boys?
Do you have a mother, asshole? A sister? How about showing some respect for this poor woman? Let us do our job, and Detective Galloway will give you a statement later.
He's good, Rusty. He even sounds genuine.
That's Phelps, guys. The war hero. Defending the honor of murdered humps.
Get used to it, Phelps. Moving along, guys. You got your pictures, you got your headlines. Now scram.
So yeah, the homicide case is heavily homicide cases are heavily based off of the Black Dahlia killer from the 1940s. Again, as I said in the previous live stream, a lot of the cases are actual police cases from the LAPD, which Team Bondi had gotten their hands on. Obviously, they changed the name of all the people in the cases, but they are pretty historically accurate to actual cases that the LAPD encountered.
Kids park here, they use it like a lover's lane. It's a working neighborhood. Some trouble, but nothing like this. It's known locally as the Moors.
You were first on the scene?
Yes, Detective.
No one's disturbed the body?
No, sir. We cleared out them vulture reporters so Pinker and the coroner could work. They're waiting to talk to you.
Go house to house and see what you come up with. What can you tell me about the shoe prints?
Men's size 8s. Pinker lifted impressions for me to compare back at the lab.
The victim's bag? Looks brand new. Can't be the one used on the body. Looks like some kind of puzzle or parlor game. Bomba Club. Why steal a table lighter? Has the scene been secured?
Patrolman Houlihan saw to it. The victim's personal effects are still where they fell.
Cause of death?
It could be the head injuries. She has been badly stomped. The cuts look superficial. I'll know for sure in an hour.
What about this wound on the finger?
Something removed. A ring, most likely. I assume it was taken post-mortem.
What caused the blunt force injury to the face?
Could be anything from a baseball bat to a lug wrench. I'll have more details after the autopsy.
Interesting. What's the writing on the victim mean?
BD, like Dahlia, Tex. Your guess is as good as mine. Could be something to it, or it could be the killer's trying to throw you off the scent. Either way, I'll run tests on the lipstick.
Any idea of the time of death?
From the temperature, I'd say after midnight. I'll confirm with you later.
When we get to the bomba, a man could die of thirst in a case like this.
The werewolf?
For my money, a copycat.
We can't rule it out. We need to work the evidence.
You'd love that, wouldn't you? The big head to hang on your wall. The caller of the decade. You've been working evidence on BD case for 6 months and got nicks.
There's a difference, Rusty.
Oh, yeah?
I just started working it today.
Okay, Oddshot. What's more likely? The werewolf comes back around, leaving us a note on the corpse?
He clearly has a thing for power. Power over women. Why not power over the police department as well?
Let me finish, Phelps. A guy opens his mouth again after 6 months of stewing. Or some opportunist who's been reading about the BD figures, he'll rip off the MO and get himself a freebie.
That's not totally fantastical.
You know, the Examiner and the Daily News might be good at coming up with monikers, but they're terrible for police work. There's a reason we didn't get the son of a bitch after the short murder. It was them, locusts.
Where do you think the werewolf killer is now?
Dead by his own hand, stationed somewhere else with the armed forces. San Quentin, another town, another country, who knows? So, Phelps, I understand you want to turn this into a big case, but it doesn't work like that, all right? A case will come and find you. Can't make it something it ain't, understand?
So you don't think the werewolf has continued to operate in the Los Angeles area?
No chance. You would have found him. If we survive this, it's gonna be a miracle. Slow and steady, come on!
Gentlemen, what can I get you?
Phelps and Galloway, LAPD. Were you working here last night?
Yes. How can I help, officer?
You can start with your name.
Garrett Mason.
You're the regular bartender on nights?
I'm a temporary barman. I work for an agency. I fill in at bars across town.
Do you remember a woman who came in here last night? 5'7", about 110 pounds, blonde hair, about 40 years of age.
You mean Celine Henry?
Yes. Do you know anything about her?
I don't. But the owner, Mr. McCall, serves her most nights. Would you like to speak to him?
I would.
He sits at the back of the club. Wears a hibiscus. You can't miss him. Is there anything else?
Fire away, Phelps. I'll stay here. I'm a little parched. Pour me 3 fingers of rye.
I got a call back for that Universal Chorus line.
My eggs were running.
Detective Phelps, LAPD. We're investigating the murder of Celine Henry. Do you know her?
Celine?
You going to pay for that?
Christ. Sure I know her. She and I and Jacob, her husband, we go way back.
She was here last night?
Sure, she's a regular. Celine was a lovely woman.
Was Mrs. Henry here with anyone last night?
Not at first. Celine already had quite a head start.
But she attracted attention?
Certainly. A few gentlemen became very enamored with her and her stories. One guy in particular.
You know him?
No. He's been in a couple of times.
Did they leave together?
Yes. At around 11. If it helps, I made the guy's license plate.
I think this could be a great help, sir. Thank you. Mrs. Henry appeared to be missing a ring, torn from her finger, but not her wedding finger.
Celine always wore a red garnet ring on the large side. Larger than life, like Celine herself.
Did she have it a long time?
Sure. Since way back in her flying days.
Did her husband buy it for her?
No, it was before Jacob.
I think you know where the ring came from, and I think you're going to tell me.
Okay. I bought it years ago. I carried a torch for Celine in those days. Guess I always have. Her old man never knew about it.
You know the husband?
Sure I know Jacob. He was in the Corps. He met Celine on a furlough and married her when the war was finished. He put up with a load of shit.
Do you think he killed his wife?
No. No, not in my opinion.
So if it wasn't Jacob, then you probably let her out of here with the guy who killed her. How do you feel about that?
Stow the attitude, will ya? I tried to get on to Jacob. I rang him up. Asked him to come pick her up, like usual. But he refused. And she picked some night to push him over the edge. I rang him back around 11:30, but got no answer.
Thanks, Mr. McCall. You've been a big help. One more thing. Would you have an address for Celine?
142 North Union Avenue. God knows I had to send her home in enough cabs to remember that.
Where's that goddamn waitress?
You ought to meet Joe's buddy.
Let's get out of here.
Hey, what's the hurry? My stool was just starting to warm up nicely.
A waitress. Can I have another spoon?
Phelps, 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
I need a registered owner on a license plate, 2boy8899.
Yes, Detective. I'll need to contact the DMV. Shall I relay the details via KGPL?
Please. Thanks.
You find the booze helps you get through a working day?
Sharpens my investigatory instincts, Phelps.
A smart lawyer might use that to throw out anything you collect today.
A smart man might know it's unwise to stand between the patient and his medicine.
As long as you're not falling over, Rusty, I'll let it slide.
That's mighty kind of you, Phelps. You know, you picked the wrong job if a healthy thirst offends you, Cole.
We owe it to this city to do the best we can in this position. As homicide detectives, that responsibility is all the more serious.
Always the politician.
It's not political, it's practical. Maybe the men combing Hollywood Boulevard after the Elizabeth Short murder were more interested in sniffing out booze than the clues that would have led to her killer.
Yeah, well, if only you'd been there, choir boy. Betty Short would be alive, the Japs would have spared Pearl Harbor, our ancestors wouldn't have tasted the forbidden fruit.
Minor syntactical error, Detective Galloway. I never claimed to be able to prevent crimes. I only suggested a proficiency in solving them. Guess that's the drink slowing you down.
Oh my God, brother, oh brother. Worse than I could ever have imagined. I need you to take a left at the next corner. I'll try the back door. Wait here a second. Side window's been jimmied. Looks like somebody's creeped the joint.
You said I had to go back, Doctor.
The fires are cathartic. They allow you to confront your past.
You said the house would be empty.
Are you taking the medication I have prescribed?
You said the house would be empty. I heard them screaming.
Circumstances were unfortunate. My colleagues had made all the necessary
You
arrangements.
said the house would be empty. You're killing me.
The deaths were unfortunate, but you have dealt with death before. I want you to come to the clinic and we can deal with
You said the house would be empty. How can I find peace?
Size 9s. Above average for a lady.
Burglar used the pry bar. Why did you kick the door in? You
Think I'm gonna climb through a broken window in a $30 suit? You got another thing coming, Buster.
Celine and Jacob are obviously having problems. It speaks to motive.
Crime scene evidence still weighs against it being the husband, but Jacob could give us something to go on. One of my exes drank like this, you'd be feeling the back of my hand.
Call in burglary and get technical services out here. I'll talk to the neighbors.
Don't take all day about it, Phelps. I'll get nasty when I'm thirsty. Galloway, homicide, badge number 564.
Tiffany? The rest of the stuff is junk. Might explain the missing ring.
459 at 142 North Union.
A regular Amelia Earhart in her day. The ring looks distinctive.
Wasn't safe around here anymore.
LAPD. Are you acquainted with Celine Henry, Miss?
Horgan! Jennifer Horgan. I've known Celine for more than 10 years. Our children grew up together. What's going on, officer?
Did you see Mrs. Henry go out last night?
Well, I'm no busybody, you understand, but Celine had been drinking. And she and poor, long-suffering Jacob had a terrible row. I think Jacob may have given her a black eye. He stormed out and she went back inside.
Did he come back?
No. Celine was listening to music and shouting until she left around 10 p.m. She was very drunk to have been driving. But she is not the sort of person you can stop from doing something when her dander is up. What is this about, officer? Is Celine all right?
I'm afraid Mrs. Henry has been murdered, ma'am.
Murdered? Oh, my God. I'm afraid I need to go and sit down.
Let's see what Jacob has to say for himself.
I don't think Jacob is our man, but we should see what he has to say.
Jacob Henry had a violent argument with his wife last night. He's looking more and more likely.
For my money, if the broad keeps the house looking like that, she probably deserved it. The skipper says bring him in and keep the hacks off our backs for a while.
Fine by me.
So it ain't the werewolf killer after all. Good to see you've come to your senses, Cole.
I always said work the evidence.
Hey, come on!
I always said work the evidence. I only stipulated a connection to the BD killer as an avenue of investigation we should leave open. And as far as I'm concerned, it still is.
Watch it, will you? Okay, Phelps, we go in hard. You follow my lead.
I think his name is
You Jacob Henry?
Yeah. Who's asking?
LAPD. You're under arrest for the murder of your wife, Celine Henry.
Murder? Celine?
Save the dramatics
Oh, my
for
God.
RKO, pal. You got bigger problems.
What the hell are you talking about? You come in here, you tell me that Celine is...
Take a seat, Mr. Henry.
she's-
We're going to have a look around, then we'll talk.
Jesus, I'm sorry.
I get even the slightest hint that you're a flight risk, pal. You think the atmosphere's thick in here? Wait till you try the gas.
The oldest problem there is, what to do about the old lady.
Size 11s. So who could have killed Celine? Where did she go last night, Jacob?
A bar, I suppose. Look, I don't know.
We get the impression that Celine liked to live the glamorous life. How did she end up with a hump like you, Jacob?
Celine was one of the first woman pilots. She hung out with movie stars and royalty. But when she came back here broke and struggling, she married a mechanic. Put a roof over her head, food on the table. Not glamorous, but the best I could do. I'm not ashamed about that.
When did you last see your wife, Mr. Henry?
Last night. I went to see her. We talked. Things got a little out of hand. I left.
That's a lie, and you know it. You tailed her, watched her come out of a bar, and then beat her to death. Admit it, Henry.
Why would I do that, Detective?
If you don't ask, you never find out. You don't remember what time you last saw your wife alive?
Look, I'm sorry. I left. Maybe 9 p.m. Might have been a little later, but right around 9.
Why did you kill her, Jacob? Things will go better if you come clean about it.
That's a lousy thing to say. I never gave up on my wife.
You went to her house, you fought, you beat her, she left, and then you followed her.
I left first. She tried to batter me with a frying pan. I had to slap her down.
Understandable.
God, I'm really screwing up on these answers. Shit. Or these questions, rather. Wow. It sucks, because I used to be really good at this game, and I haven't played it in so long that I literally forget all the responses.
So you can prove that you came back here after you left your wife's place.
I came back here. I was here all night. Start work at 6:30. I'm not the going out type.
You called the bar to give yourself an alibi. Then you went after her, beat her, and dumped her in a park. I think you are a sack of shit, Jacob.
You're not going to pin Celine's death on me. I'll take a lie detector test to prove it.
McCall says he called and you didn't pick up.
I tried to get her help, and she laughed in my face. Well, then, of course, she needs me. I'd had enough. Everyone has their limit.
We're still going to need you to come downtown, Mr. Henry.
We can get this all down on paper, Jacob. How you got fed up with your wife and how you figured killing her would bury all your troubles.
Kill my own wife?
She was a lush and a tramp, and you just couldn't stand it anymore.
Shut your goddamn mouth.
So now you're going to tell me you loved her? Ah, the DA goes all gooey over remorse, Jacob.
This doesn't look good.
Okay. Let's just... What's this bunkum?
Call it in and get a squad car dispatched. And check for messages. I'll keep old Slugger here company.
Operator, give me dispatch.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need a patrol unit to transport a suspect back to Central.
Certainly, Detective. You have a message from the coroner. Do you wish to be put through?
Yes, ma'am.
Carruthers,
It's Phelps.
I've completed the autopsy. Several wounds to the head from a blunt metal instrument. Closest match would be a socket wrench handle.
So the cause of death was the blunt...
No, the blows to the head surprisingly were not fatal. Death was from hemorrhage and shock from the fractured ribs and multiple injuries caused by the stomping.
Anything else?
He's some kind of sex fiend. The tissues of the anus were bruised about 1/8 of an inch, but no trace of semen in the anus, vagina, or stomach.
Thanks, Doc. Operator, give me R&I. Any word on an owner for that vehicle? License was 2boy8899.
Yes, Detective. The plate belongs to a brown 1936 Pontiac. Registered owner is one Alonzo Mendez of 402 South Fremont Street, apartment 16.
Thanks. Any other messages?
One, Detective. From Captain Donnelly. He wants any and all suspects returned to Central. Interviews to be set up immediately.
Got it. We're coming in. Carruthers said she took a real pounding.
Maybe if he had been a little firmer in the beginning, he wouldn't be in this situation now.
I imagine that Neanderthal routine is a big hit with the ladies, Galloway.
Women love me, Phelps. I have no complexity. They know exactly what they're going to get.
We have a firm lead, Captain.
Are you questioning my judgment, Cole Phelps?
No, sir.
Good. I thought not. Jacob Henry is a sob-sister pushed around by his wife. I think with the right kind of persuasion, he might be prepared to seek absolution. Are you prepared to show him the error of his ways, young Phelps?
I don't think he's our man. Galloway agrees with me.
Don't drag me into this.
Rusty is a practical policeman. A bird in hand is always worth two in the bush. Let's liberate a confession from poor Jacob, and the public will sleep easier tonight. Run along now, Phelps. I've warmed them up nicely for you.
I've always felt Captain Donnelly is such a weird man because he is willing to just
put him down in my sack.
To just fling a murder charge on anybody without any real evidence to the contrary. Like, it's clear that Jacob Henry never murdered his wife, but like...
Please believe me, I didn't kill my wife.
Donnelly is like, oh no, he's the murderer. It's like, no, he's a very strange captain. Like, I mean, it's like he just wants to fling murder charges on whomever. A very strange way of acting as a leader of law enforcement.
Doesn't look good, Jacob. You're in a big jam here. You lie to me, and I can't help you out. Do you understand me?
Yes.
What do you do for work, Jacob?
I'm a mechanic. Engines, differentials, transmissions, that kind of stuff.
So you have access to tools?
Yes, I do.
Your wife was brutally beaten with a socket wrench handle, then stomped to death. How do you think that looks, Jacob?
I was home in bed.
You're full of shit, Jacob. The truth is you hated that bitch. You followed her and dragged her into the car and then took her out to the moors. She woke up and you smashed her face in with a socket wrench.
No.
And then you stomped her. You stomped her because she's a drunken whore and she treated you like shit. You stomped her for all the years you had to take it. You stomped her because you are such a weak fucking sister, Jacob, and you wanted to erase all memory of it. Go on. Try to deny it.
I was at home. I should have gone to her at the bar, but I didn't. You can't prove I wasn't home.
I can. The bar owner, McCall, gave you up. He called your house right at the time that someone was smashing Celine's skull in and got no answer. If we find that socket wrench, you're gonna fry. Get it off your chest. Tell me you killed her.
I killed her, all right. I killed her dreams. She was an aviator, famous in her day, flying around up there like a bird. But she never wanted to come back down. You know, my pop was a sod farmer, dirt poor. I joined the Corps, trained to be a mechanic. I did better than my father did. I worked hard for it. It's all you can ask of a man. But Celine, she never wanted to come down from the clouds. She wanted everything I couldn't give her. All I had was security. That was never going to be enough.
You did it. Everything points to you. What does Tex mean, Jacob?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I need a reason to believe you, Jacob.
You want a confession? That's what you want?
That's exactly what we want.
Seems to me there are two types of marriages. First, where the couple love each other equally and everything's roses. And then there's the other, where one person loves the other more than life itself and always puts them first. Chumps like me, who love them no matter what, no matter how badly they behave. That's it. That's my confession. I love my wife. And I'll take any test you got to prove it.
Your marriage was over. You took her in and she threw it back in your face. You didn't go over there to hurt her. It just got out of hand.
It's not how it was.
You're lying, Jacob. It was falling apart and things got violent.
I'm not lying. I'm telling you how it was.
Jenny Horgan says you blackened her eye.
It's all right, Jacob. The DA will understand. In your shoes, I would have done exactly the same thing.
I hit her, all right? I'm not proud of it, but she was coming at me with a frying pan. What would you do? It took it for years, but sometimes a man can only take so much.
Why did you break into your wife's house, Jacob? Why steal the ring?
What? What are you talking about? I've got a key. Why would I need to break in?
Where did you hawk the jewelry, Jacob? You know how cheap you're going to look to the grand jury? Husband murders wife and sells her jewels.
I didn't break in. How many different ways do you want me to say it?
Sorry. Sometimes you have to shake the tree to see what falls out. You took the ring because you found out who gave it to her.
What are you talking about?
Her prized garnet ring, given to her by her old boyfriend, Dick McCall.
I never knew that. I lived with that woman for 3 years, and I never knew that. In that case, I think you should be talking to Dick McCall.
We'll do the detective work, lunkhead. Just answer the questions.
I'll see what I can do for you, Jacob. But I'm not promising. It still looks bad for you.
Phelps, you failed me, son.
We have another lead, Captain. This guy Mendez could be our man.
I hope so, Phelps. I really hope so. I'm deeply disturbed by your style of police work.
It's so stupid. I'm deeply disturbed that you're not going to arrest and murder the first person you see.
We can still pull down a conviction.
Because, you know,
if we chase down this
he's
Mendez
obviously the killer. Like, I never liked how Captain Donnelly operates. Like, it's literally ridiculous. It's like, it's almost like he's just wanting to accuse the first person he doesn't like. Anyway, Mendez is the killer. It's not her husband. But Donnelly seems to think it's her husband because he's an interesting person.
Alonzo Mendez. Sound like a man who moonlights as the werewolf?
Don't sound like a man I'd let my daughter anywhere near.
You've got a daughter.
Spend enough time drinking, Cole, you'll find yourself with any number of things you don't want when you're sober.
So that's why you never sober up.
Exactly.
Mendez, apartment 16.
Don't bother knocking, just kick the door in. Take a look around and see what you can find.
It would take a smarter man than me to connect that.
Brothers could match the color and brand of the body. Consistent with Celine's injuries, and the blood can be typed.
We have the murder weapon. We better get Pinker down here.
Why keep it? Why not throw it away?
Think these clowns are geniuses? Thank your stars you caught a break. Captain Don will begin to like you.
Hey! What gives? LAPD, you're under arrest.
Do not lose that son of a bitch. I'll go get our wheels.
Mendez, stop right there! You don't need to do this, Alonzo!
Get in and drive. Hit it! Clean this asshole off the road. I got an idea. Get him next to my window, Cole. Keep me alongside his vehicle, and I'll stop the son of a bitch. Hit him, Cole. Spin him out. Keep it steady, and I'll try to bust his tires.
You're under arrest for the murder of Celine Henry. Put your hands where I can see them.
I ain't saying a goddamn thing.
You did a grand job, lads. Phelps, that's quite a way to acquit yourself in your first outing as a homicide investigator. It seems the city has a new and vengeful guardian. Considering the evidence against your suspect and the thoroughness with which a report was compiled, I foresee a safe passage through the courts, and the DA agrees with me. Brutality on a scale such as this deserves retribution. The people and the press of this city demand
it. I always found that funny. He goes to give Rusty a drink, and Cole's like, "Oh, where's my drink?" Well, I've definitely done worse than I did the previous case. So because I'm replaying old cases that I've already done, because I've beaten this game multiple times, so I already had a 5-star. So it keeps your highest score and doesn't record over it, which is nice. So when I just played that case just now, I got a 4-star, so I sucked this time around. But that's because I haven't played this game in forever. But as you can see, I've always got 5 stars on every case in the past. Not so much now. It's been so long since I played this game. Anyway, let's do the next case.
Galloway. Got it, Skipper. Yeah, I'll bring him. He's my partner, after all.
What have we got?
New case. White female dumped in plain sight in the grass at the end of Hill Street. Hacks are all over it. Captain's trying to fend them off.
That sounds awfully similar.
The first rule of police work is make no assumptions until you've seen the evidence. Skipper wants you to have your newspaper face on, college boy. I think I know the place where they found the lady. It overlooks Sunset Boulevard. Let's go.
One little twist. She was 13.
Seems like a decent guy.
And yes, I realize this is not the right police car. It doesn't really matter. It's the first one in front of me, so I'm taking it.
Continue to respond.
You did a decent job on the Henry case, Phelps. Not bad for your first time at bat.
Thanks, Rusty.
But don't go getting ahead of yourself. That's one clearance under your belt. Now it's a new day with a new dead lady that needs our attention.
And no assumptions until we see the evidence, right?
Right. See, I knew you were a fast learner, Phelps. We might get along after all.
Units in the vicinity.
Now, boys, you know as much as I do. I'll be holding a press conference once the autopsy's been completed. I have 2 of my finest investigators on the case. Fresh from bringing down the sword of justice on the crazed sex
Captain,
Alonzo
aren't there
Mendes.
similarities between this murder and the murder of Celine Henry? And of Elizabeth Short, for that matter?
So you don't believe there's a crazed sex killer at large preying on women?
Boys, be sensible. We have the greatest police force in all the world with the greatest scientific investigators at our disposal. How can any killer continue to beat that? Be advised. We keep the gas chamber at San Quentin primed for the sons of Cain who continue to believe they can take a life in the City of Angels.
Yeah, right. Any new leads in the Dahlia case?
Run along, boys, and let these officers get to work. We have God's work to do here, and it can't be delayed.
What do we have, Captain?
Another woman sacrificed. Speak to Carruthers. I want daily reports, gentlemen.
Just
Detective?
awful.
I was first on scene.
Why can't we get any closer?
You find her, Gonzalez?
Not me. A family out for a stroll. I was first reporting.
Can you show me the body?
It's under the pepper tree, this way.
You're a modest little person with much to be modest about.
Can't be much help to you, Phelps.
Here she is.
The stomping angle in the Henry case, was it reported in the press?
Sure was. Every detail a copycat would want was there in the story.
Well, we have a name. Can you run Deirdre Muller by RNI?
Back in a second.
If the motive was robbery, why not take the money?
Officer Gonzalez, back 594. Victim a white female, Jane Doe on Hill Street. Possible ID of Deirdre Muller. Can you run through the name details?
Look at your markers. Very
Distinctive. I'll do some comparisons back at the lab and get back to you.
Reported by who?
What's this mark? A cut on the finger.
Fourth finger, left hand. A wedding or engagement ring. Violently removed.
Looks like she was tied up.
It does at first, but that would leave a mark on her other wrist, too. I think her watch might have been torn off. Similar remote.
To what? The Dahlia? I don't think so.
Celine Henry.
That's a closed case. This is probably another sad sack who lost his temper with a broad who wouldn't put out.
Are you a suspect, Rusty?
Watch your mouth, Phelps. All I'm saying is we got enough to do without reopening closed cases.
Talk me through it, Mal.
Severely battered, on display. Footprints would indicate that she has been stomped. Size of the footprints would seem to indicate a smallish men's shoe. What size shoe did Mendez wear?
You finished?
No, I'm not. At a glance, I would say strangulation is the cause of death. I'll need to do further tests for semen.
Angry boyfriend. If they were married, they'd be at home, not humping out here in Lover's Lane.
Detectives, RNI says that Deirdre Muller of 130 North Bonnie Bray was reported missing this morning by her husband, Hugo Muller.
What'd I tell you? Let's grab the husband, take him downtown, and work him over. We could have this wrapped up by lunchtime.
What about not making assumptions and going on the evidence?
There still might be some play in the boyfriend angle.
I thought we were on our way to lock up the husband.
If he doesn't work out, that is.
Deirdre Muller has...
Whoa there!
Deirdre Muller has suffered enough. More than enough. You shouldn't make disparaging comments about her
Is this
without
the
even the
Golden
slightest
Butterfly mission?
She was a woman, wasn't she? All around
Hey,
about my
Novus.
third divorce,
Yes, it
I
is.
realized women
It's
might
the
not be
Golden
as pure
Butterfly.
angels as we imagine. You're married, ain't you, Phelps?
Don't make any insinuations about my wife.
Hey, she's a woman.
She's the mother of my children.
You're a father, Cole? But don't tell me your eye don't bend.
This conversation is over.
One of my favorite missions.
Nice. Yeah, I like all the missions actually. The entire game is just phenomenal. It's a real shame that it did so poorly when it initially released back in 2011. It didn't make back any of what they spent on the game, which is why part of the reason why Team Bondi, the creators, filed bankruptcy. A lot of people thought Rockstar Games made this game, but they didn't. They were just a producer. They now own the rights to the game, but the likelihood of a sequel is very, very slim.
Easy! Noire is way too underrated.
100% agreed. It's a work of art, and unfortunately, when it released, a lot of people went into it because, okay, so a lot of people saw the Rockstar logo attached to it and thought it was a Rockstar Games game, and still to this day people think that. So a lot of gamers back then, I remember when I had pre-ordered it for my PS3, and back then a lot of gamers were going into it thinking it was going to be like Grand Theft Auto, and that you could like steal any car, shoot anybody. So a lot of gamers went into it with that misconception, and I think because of that, the game didn't sell very well. Because everybody just associated it with Grand Theft Auto. Which it's nothing like.
Yeah, I always though Rockstar made until few years ago.
Yeah, no. They were just producer.
Phelps and Galloway.
They should make Noire too.
Is your father home?
The reason I don't think that'll happen is because of two reasons. One, the fact that the original game didn't sell very well and didn't really live up to the expectations that it was supposed to. And two, when Team Bondi went bankrupt, they got rid of the room that they used to motion capture all of the faces of the actors. The depth analysis room that they had, they dismantled it. So I don't know how they would do a sequel. I really don't. Because if they did a sequel, Rockstar doesn't have the tech that Team Bondi had. So if they did a sequel, they probably wouldn't be able to use real actors' faces. And that's probably why a sequel's not going to be made.
We'll be home soon. He's been out looking for Mommy.
What's your name, miss?
Michelle Eloise Mahler?
Can we come in?
I suppose so.
Thank you. Could you have a seat for me, Michelle? We're going to have a look around.
He'll be back any moment. Just sit tight. My partner will explain everything when he gets back, okay? There's nothing to worry about.
Work boots. Size 8s. Elgin wristwatch. Probably the same one snatched from her body. No sign of a wedding ring.
Is this about Mommy? Daddy is trying to find her. Please tell me she's okay.
I'm sorry to have to tell you this, Michelle, but your mother is dead. Do you think you could answer a few questions for us?
Could try.
I'm sorry, that's bad acting there. I mean, she like literally. First of all, the crying sounded fake as hell, and it's no fault of the actress. I don't think it's just badly compiled. And then afterwards, when she's like, "Oh yeah, I'll try," she didn't have enough emotion, sad emotion in that. She was just like, "I'll try." It's like, well, that was a fast cry over your mother's death. Very odd. In terms of actors in this game, I feel like the actress playing Michelle Muller obviously is a lot older than what her character is, because it's clearly obvious by the way she presents herself. And not just that, but her acting is not that good. Out of all the other actors in the game, her acting is probably one of the worst.
When did you last see your mother?
Yesterday afternoon. I went to a dance at Belmont High. Mommy was supposed to pick me up, but she didn't show.
So what did you do then?
I was upset. Daddy came instead.
And did he come and get you?
Crap, I knew that was doubt.
Of course. Some boys offered me a ride home, but that's not the right thing to do.
So you were hanging around the school for quite a while. What happened with your father?
I don't know. I called and finally he answered. He came straight away then.
Some of your mother's jewelry was missing. Can you describe her things?
A ring, a watch. I never paid much attention to that stuff.
You seem reluctant to talk about her jewelry.
It's a touch.
Wow, I am royally screwing this up. Oh my god. Okay, in my defense, I haven't played L.A. Noire in so freaking long that I literally forget half of the things to answer with. Oh my god, it's been like ages. Like it's a game where like I beat it all. I got 5 stars on every single cases, and I'm like, I got all of the achievements. So I'm like, well, I'm never gonna play it again. And now I'm playing it for my YouTube channel, and I'm just screwing up every single case. It's so bad.
Your mom and dad are happily married?
What are you saying? Of course they are.
They weren't happy, were they, Michelle? Did your father ever hit your mother?
Just the once. She said she would leave him if he ever did it again. He bought her a brooch pin to make up for it. Mommy always wore her golden butterfly.
I know this is a tough time for you, Michelle, but you should really try and help the police.
Hey! What gives?
Daddy, the police
Go to your
are
room,
here.
please, Michelle. I'll talk to the police.
Daddy, Mommy is gone.
Go to your room, young lady. She's not even out of school. You can't come in here interrogating her like she's
Your
some
wife
kind
was
of...
found murdered this morning.
Found? What? But she only...
We have some questions that we would like to ask you.
Sure, yeah.
First of all, that was condescending what he said to the daughter. You really should help the police. Okay, anyway, this actor, I can't remember his name, but he's in a lot of shit.
I always got the questions wrong. I would only get all of the questions correct like once a mission.
Yeah, like I when I originally got this game for PS3, I got the strategy guide with it because I live in Canada, and EB Games in Canada, they always give you like bundles where it's like, oh, if you pre-order this game, you'll get the big strategy guide with it, you'll get, and so I got the strategy guide with it, but I beat the game without the strategy guide the first time, and I used the strategy guide for several of the cases that were, because way later on in the game, like I'd say by the arson, or not by the arson, sorry, by the the vice cases, that's when it started to get really hard to determine if the suspects were lying or telling the truth, because they were often very straight-faced. And I needed to use the strategy guide.
If that's all, please just leave.
Can you shut up, please, sir? Like, I'm a cop. You can't just tell me to leave. What is this nonsense? All right. So this actor is in a lot of shit, though. Like, I believe he's from Heroes, the TV show Heroes, and he's been in a lot of other stuff, too.
Please, if that's all, please just leave.
No! Shut up! Anyway, I remember he was interviewed after this game came out about how it was done and everything, and he was, like, all for it and everything. I remember him saying that, like, it was so cool to, like, see your face in a game after everything was done and all taken care of. He got to see his character in the game, and he was just blown away. Anyway, let's go back to interrogating this obvious criminal, even though he's not.
What size shoe do you wear, Mr. Mueller?
Why do you ask?
It's routine, sir. Simple process of elimination.
9s, I think.
Why are you lying to me, Mr. Mueller?
Why would I lie to you at a time like this?
That's funny. The work boots we found here are size.
Did this ever happen to you on Law and Order when you glitch on top of your car and the end you just die? That used to always happen to me.
You know, small feet, small...
No, actually. I have encountered glitches, though. When this game first came out for PS4, the remaster, a lot of the NPCs had no heads. So a lot of the people on the street were just walking around, just bodies without heads attached. So that was the only blooper or glitch that I ever encountered. The rest of the game worked fine for me. It was just very disconcerting seeing like thousands of people decapitated wandering around Los Angeles.
So you were here all night. You stayed in while your wife went out to pick up your daughter?
Yes, that's correct.
You should come clean if you're having an affair, or if there's something going on.
I told you I was here. Were you saying I wasn't?
So why did you take so long to answer the phone when your daughter called?
Okay, I went out for a while. I was driving around. It's my way of relaxing.
You phoned in a missing persons report this morning?
Yeah, that's right. My wife didn't come home last night. She left around 9:30. Michelle was at a dance. She called me to let me know that Deidre didn't turn up.
Did your wife ever go out by herself? To bars, nightclubs?
No. What are you suggesting? You suggesting my wife's loose? Now is not the time for you to be pushing me, mister.
Your daughter said you were having an argument.
We argued about who would pick up Michelle. I worked a full day. I wanted to come home, put my feet up.
Your wife went to pick up
I would
Michelle?
just be walking to the car, and sometimes when I would press triangle, then Cole would just glitch on the car, then die low.
Yeah, that's weird. I've never encountered that before. I have no idea. He's acting very twitchy. That's either a crying, trying not to cry, or I'm going to say doubt on this.
What happened, Hugo? You got any theories? Because we're starting to like you for this.
The car parked by the school is kind of dark. Maybe somebody jumped her there. Did you try the parking lot?
Shit, I think that would have been lie, actually. Fuck. I'm screwing this up so bad right now. Oh well, I mean, what does it matter? At the end of the day, that's the one thing I found funny about L.A. Noire, is at the end of the day, you can screw up the answers all you want, you're still going to get the same outcome. All it affects is your star rating, which is very odd. I mean, Because in real police work, that's not how that works. If you screw up on the evidence and everything...
On the PS3, then when I got the remastered on the PS4, it would never happen.
Okay. Yeah, I never had any glitches with the PS3 version. Now, the PS4 version is where I had the issue with the people without the heads. But that was quickly fixed by Rockstar Games, who is the new owner of L.A. Noire. Because after Team Bondi filed bankruptcy, they sold the rights to L.A. Noire to Rockstar Games. It was either that or Rockstar Games.
Just leave.
It was either that or Rockstar Games just took it over. But it's a shame because it's a license that they're not going to do anything with. It's very obvious. They would have done something with it by now. That and Bully are the two licenses Rockstar Games owns, which it feels like they've forgotten about and have no intentions of working on. Now, granted, there is evidence that came out not that long ago that suggested that a Bully 2 is in production, but again, it's kind of speculative because it was a script that a voice actor got, and it was
the original company get sued, then Rockstar took over.
Yeah, so the original company, they didn't get sued, I don't think. They just filed bankruptcy.
Bully
so
was another underrated game.
Oh hell yeah, Bully's fucking amazing. I have it for both my PS4 and my Xbox One. I have the special edition on Xbox One, which had the additional classrooms and stuff. Anyway, so Team Bondi filed bankruptcy after a whole bunch of... So when the game came out...
If that's all, please just leave.
I am going to pause this because I don't want to hear him saying that every 5 seconds. Okay, so when L.A. Noire came out,
GTA 4 is underrated to me.
GTA 4 is amazing. Yeah, no, I have GTA 4 for my PS3. It is a good game. But the likelihood of GTA 4 ever seeing a remaster is non-existent. And the reason for that is because Michael Horick? I think that Michael Horick? I think that's his name. The guy who played Nico. He tried to sue Rockstar. Rockstar does not like him. And if they were going to remaster GTA 4, Rockstar would then have to pay him a royalty fee because his voice is in the game. Rockstar will never do that because they don't like him. So the likelihood of GTA 4 ever getting a remake is very slim. I don't think it'll ever happen personally because nobody at Rockstar liked that guy. He basically sued Rockstar because he felt like he was being underpaid for his voice work as Nico. Anyway, going back to L.A. Noire now. So what happened with L.A. Noire was they filed bankruptcy because when L.A. Noire came out, the programmers, it came to light that the programmers were being heavily abused at Team Bondi. They were given massive...
games people will probably never play again is Red Dead Revolver. I loved that game on the PS2.
Yeah, I have it. I have the PS4. It's out for PS4. Red Dead Revolver is on PS4. Just go to the PlayStation Store and you can find it on there. Sony re-released it for PS4. But yes, Red Dead Revolver was a good game, definitely. I do love Red Dead Redemption 2, and I do plan to stream it at some point, but I know damn well that with Red Dead Redemption 2 and how long it is, that's going to be like a 500-part stream. That's going to be such a long stream, because that game is just massively long. The game is like Skyrim level long. Anyway, but yeah, so Team Bondi filed bankruptcy because the employees were underpaid, underworked, treated like shit, and instead of defending his actions, what's his name? Brandon McNamara, who was the head of Team Bondi, instead of defending himself and his actions, he was just like, well, no, I'm just gonna file bankruptcy and shut down my business. So, which put him in very suspicious light, because it's like, well, okay, so people just came out, said this about you, and instead of saying, no, it's not true, you just choose to file bankruptcy.
Only 4 hours of RDR2 is like 2.5% of the game face with tears of joy.
Right? Yeah, it's a freaking long game, but it's freaking epic, man. I remember playing that for the first time, and as soon as, spoiler alert, for anybody who hasn't played it, which would be 0% of you probably. So when Arthur dies, and then you got to play as John Marston, I was just like, that blew me away, because I was not expecting that at all. And to be able to build John Marston's house and work on his farm, and that was so sick. That I think is one of my favorite.
I know what happens.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite parts of the game. Was honestly just being able to play John Marston again, and to experience his story up until Red Dead Redemption 1. Because for some reason Rockstar released this in really weird order. So like Red Dead Redemption 2 is like the prequel to Red Dead Redemption 1.
I cried when Arthur died.
Yeah, it was pretty sad. It was. Yeah, no, it was an emotional scene, and I think the only reason it was an emotional scene was because of the music that they chose to play as he was dying and stuff like that. That's often the case where music is the reason for your emotions more so than the acting, because like that scene would not have been the same without that music. And I don't think you would get the same emotional response. That same goes for PS4 Spider-Man PS4 by Insomniac Games. When Aunt May dies, if you listen closely, there's really sappy, sad music playing when she's dying. And that affects your emotion. The emotional response is done by the music, not so much the acting.
Your wife was beaten and then strangled. In your case, you have no alibi and a history of
Red Dead Redemption 2 has the best acting.
That's not true, god damn it.
It is true, Hugo. You're a violent man. You try to keep a lid on it at home, but sometimes you lost control. Your daughter and your wife were scared of you.
Yes.
You don't know anything about me.
It's not bad acting at all, Red Dead Redemption 2. There is actually a guy I follow on YouTube. He's a YouTuber, and he impersonates Dutch all the time. And his Dutch impression is spot on. Like, it's scary accurate. Like, scary accurate. And he'll play, like, Red Dead Redemption 2, like the Red Dead Redemption Online, and he'll just like go into a session and just start talking like Dutch, and everybody just loses their shit.
RDR2 is the most gory game I've ever played.
And how you bought your wife off the last time you heard her.
She liked to spend money, all right? Dresses, jewelry, her hair. It drove me goddamn crazy. Do I look like a Rockefeller?
Nobody likes a cheapskate, Hugo.
Getting hostile with us is a very bad idea.
RDR2?
I'm no murderer.
I wouldn't
Make
say
some
that.
arrangements for your daughter, and then present yourself
maybe
to
in your
Central
case,
Station
yeah,
for
but
questioning.
You gotta be kidding me,
it's
Phelps.
definitely not the
Put
goriest game
This
ever
is an
made.
outrage. I
That's
didn't
for
kill
sure.
my wife.
Your daughter is in the next room, Muller, so I'm giving you a break.
For me,
Don't
I'd
make me
say
change
it
my
would
mind,
be
and don't make
Agony.
me come looking for you.
Yeah, Agony was just quease-inducing. So Agony, in case nobody knows, is a underrated first-person game that takes place in hell. So you literally play a guy who gets sentenced to hell for your actions. You wake up in hell, you have no recollection of how you got there, and shit going down. Because like there's like demons everywhere, and there's a lot of crazy shit in the game. It's very demonic, very demonic. It's like I feel like the creators of the game are Satan worshippers. They've got to be, because the level of satanic shit in this game is far beyond anything in Doom or any of those games. There's like literally one scene I remember where like you're walking down this corridor in hell, and there's like this big fat demon that's got this little baby sitting on a slab, and he just takes a giant boulder and smashes it over the baby's skull and just stoves open this baby's skull with this big rock. It's just a really demonic game. And I honestly can't play it. I honestly got so far in it, and I'm just like, you know what? This game is just disturbing me too much. I can't even finish it. It just became so fucked up. And so that, for me, is the most violent game I've ever played. Definitely Agony. And you can find it on the PlayStation Store. It's still there, and you can usually find it pretty damn cheap. It's about $20. It's an indie game. It's graphics are really good. Story is really good. But the demonic content is what forced me away. It just became too sick.
Back in there and bust his ass.
1, we need to break his alibi. Check phone records, canvass the neighbors. 2, we have motive of domestic violence, which probably goes for half the men in L.A. 3, we have no evidence tying him to the crime scene.
Hello, detective.
Yes, ma'am.
I heard the terrible news over the radio.
And you can help us with our inquiries?
Yes, sir. They had a row last night. I heard Mrs. Muller screaming.
Did you see Mrs. Muller come home late last night at all?
No, not at all. I did see Mr. Muller put something in the incinerator earlier this morning, though.
I told you he was our guy. Now let's get this bum downtown and into a cell.
Look, there he is now.
I never understood what she just said there. She said that she heard it over the radio that Mrs. Muller died. Well,
did you ever play it? It's like
oh yeah, oh hell yeah, Gun's amazing, dude. Gun's fucking amazing. Of course I played it. It's amazing game. So what she just said there about hearing on the radio about Miss Muller dying, that would never happen because the police are still investigating the case. Why would it be on the radio already? That doesn't make any sense to me. And that's just a fault of the game designers for not knowing proper police procedure. Because they wouldn't, even in the 40s, they wouldn't be like, well, she died and blah, blah, blah. It wouldn't go straight out like that. There would be an investigation first, and then the public would hear about it. They wouldn't just be like, well, Hugo Muller's wife died, they found her body and blah, blah. It doesn't work like that. But yeah, no, Gun's an amazing game, for sure.
This doesn't look good, Hugo.
Thomas Jane.
I can explain the plot.
Thomas Jane.
That's what I was thinking.
Thomas Jane was amazing in Gun as the lead character.
Yes, sir, detective.
Is there someone you
He
can
is
call
best known as the Punisher
I don't.
in the Punisher movie, the first Punisher movie.
Family, grandparents.
Well, technically the second, because the first one was from the 80s.
Lives in Bakersfield and.
Call her. We're gonna get someone down here from Juvenile Hall to talk to you in the meantime.
We ought to get some uniforms down here, clean up, take care of the kid.
Did you read about the woman who stabbed her husband and then...
Cole Phelps, badge 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
I need an address on a Belmont High School.
Checking for you, Detective. Go ahead, Detective Unit.
Did we get Ray Pinker and the technical services team to a house at 130 North Bonnie Bray Street? Send someone
Thank
down
you.
from Juvenile Hall to look after a young lady.
Roger, 11K. Inform Detective Phelps that the coroner has a report waiting at the police morgue downtown when he's available.
Got it, KGPL.
I just realized what this is doing. It's using the speaker from this car, because this is the actual car I should be driving, but yet he's talking through that speaker. So, like, Rusty's talking through this speaker, but yet it's going through the speaker on that car. It's very fucking strange. Alright, anyway. Let's do the Belmont High first.
I'm surprised, you know. I didn't make the husband for it.
Always make the husband, Phelps. 9 times out of 10, it's the closest person to the Vic who does the deed. God knows I've wanted to kill some wives in my day.
Lex parsimoniae.
What?
The law of parsimony. Occam's razor. The simplest explanation is most likely the correct one.
You know, you could have said that without getting all liturgical on me.
I'll try to dumb things down from now on.
Appreciate it. And try this one on for size. Rusty's razor.
How's that go?
You blame the guy that's banging her.
Ah, of course. The famous Lex.
One thing that annoyed me on Noire is when it says kill the person and you do kill the person, it gives no care. Failed. Has that ever happened?
Belmont High School, 1575 West 2nd Street. Stand by for further unit ahead. Identify code 2.
Saturday's the spring unveiling, Emmy. It's the first season since fabric rationing's over. We have to go.
I told you I can't Saturday. I'm busy.
Busy where?
How do people not notice him?
You're going on another drive with Davy Gardner, aren't you?
Like, he might as well just be holding a sign saying I'm a pedophile at that point.
Phelps, I'll take the car and see if I can cut him off.
There he is. See him?
Just throws the guy onto the sidewalk.
Watch it, mister.
Watch, you're the one crossing the street in front of a car, lady!
And why is everyone faster than Cole when he's skinnier than all the criminals? Grinning, squinting face.
Right? Exactly. For being a fucking former Marine, Cole is terrible at running. Absolutely horrendous. Thank God for the VR game. Thankfully, doesn't have that issue because there's LA Noire VR and it's a bit better in some ways.
11K, go ahead.
11K, see the janitor. A green 1946 coupe registered to a Mrs. Hugo Moeller has been found in the parking lot adjoining the Belmont High School and playing fields. 11K, code 2.
Why did they not?
A dude 5 miles away from him.
Right. Exactly.
Who's asking?
We can do this the easy way or the hard way.
That's a big screw. That's a big. Okay, for a game that's supposed to be historically accurate, why is the intercom unit in the car wireless? That would not be a thing in the 1940s at all. Wireless technology didn't exist in the 1940s. Period. And Rusty literally picked the receiver of that radio out in his hand. There was no wire attached to it. It was just like a... No.
You've been in trouble with the law before, Eli?
Some.
What are you doing around here?
I like to keep an eye on the children.
Strictly paternal, is it, Eli?
Don't sass me, boy.
A woman was abducted here last night, Eli, and murdered.
And I would love to make you for that, you Okie motherfucker.
Well, I wouldn't know nothing about that. A woman, you say? I like them a little younger than that.
Turn out your pockets, Eli.
Now, why would I do that?
Because I'm about to break your fucking skull, Eli.
You're under arrest, Eli. You're in very deep trouble. Get some backup down here, Rusty. We need to get this one downtown and into a cell.
I'll tell them we got a kitty...
I love how he doesn't even try to hide it. He's just like...
What time did you see the person park the car?
Late last night, after school social, maybe 1 a.m. I've been keeping a good eye out lately. We've had problems with the child molester.
Eli Rooney. We've met him.
Ellie is probably...
Why do the... Okay, this is the one that...
You saw park the car.
He's weird, but it's everything about this case is very odd to me.
It was pretty dark.
So, the janitor knows he's a child molester? That would explain that all of the faculty of the school probably knows he's a child molester. So why are they letting him on the school grounds to begin with? He's just wandering around the school grounds. He admits he's a child molester himself. The cops go up to him and they're like, they want to make him for the girl who the girl who got killed, and then he's like, oh no, I liked him a little younger than that. I'm like, oh my God, seriously. So everybody knows he's a molester. He knows he's a molester. Why wouldn't the faculty call the police ages ago and be like, this guy's creeping on the school property. Maybe we should get some cops over here to deal with it. No, they wait until the cops just show up themselves, and suddenly he's just there by coincidence.
You would get shot and killed by cop of being blind.
Say Rooney is violent?
Yes, sir. I would say so, yes.
Thanks for your help.
Oh boy, this is special.
Blood and skin samples. We better get Ray Pinker out here.
How do you explain all this, Eli? I don't know how they got in my car.
The overalls are stenciled HM. Muller is a mechanic. I wonder what Eli does for a living.
Another weird thing in Law Noire, Cole is real mean to the person, then he had a real calm voice.
Yeah, no, I know. That's more a fault of the game mechanic than the actor, though. That's just how they went about doing things. Mind you, cops were like that in real life back in the 40s. Because keep in mind, a majority of the cops in the 1940s were also corrupt. That's why a lot of your partners in L.A. Noire are corrupt. Each has their own vice. Each has their own problem. Rusty's is alcoholism. Bukowski's is... what is Bukowski? Bukowski has problems. I just don't remember what it is. Roy Earl is just completely corrupt. He works for criminals. And then... And then Herschel Biggs is, I'm trying to remember what Herschel Biggs' problem was. No faith in himself, I think, was the problem with him. He just didn't give a shit about anything. That was Herschel Biggs' problem.
Roy Earl is annoying from the start.
Well, yeah, but Roy Earl is the villain, right? He's really well played, though. Adam J. Harrington, who played him, is really good. He's in a lot of games. Adam J. Harrington's in Battlefield Hardline, God of War. Those are the only two I can remember off by heart that he's done work in. But Adam J. Harrington's been in a lot of shit. He's definitely a guy
Let's get moving.
who's regular in the video game industry.
Phelps, badge 1247.
Wasn't he the one Cole and him were fighting at the end?
I need interrogation set up at Central for both suspects being held in the Muller homicide case.
Certainly, Detective. I'll get in touch with the watch commander.
No, well, I don't think you ever fought Roy Earl. I think, if I remember correctly, at the ending of the game, there's that funeral for Cole because he drowns. Well, supposedly. I mean, there's no proof that he actually drowned, but they had that funeral. And then Roy Earl takes the stand. He's like, Cole Phelps, he was one of the best cops I ever had. I admired him and stuff like that. And it's just like, my God, like, you're such a fucking liar, buddy. You treated him like shit 90% of the game. You ruined his career. You ruined his marriage by spreading lies about him. Like, fuck you, man. You didn't give two shits about him.
Thanks for your help.
Okay, why isn't it not letting me in the car? What is going on? Why can't I get in the car? Oh, for fucking... Are you kidding me right now? Is this not my car? Hold on. What have they done here? Is my car over here, maybe? Did they spawn in the regular car? Can I just take any car? Because, like, this is not letting me drive anywhere. That was
I say we
strange.
make Rooney for this. I think we should lay it on him. He was near the car, he had her jewelry, the DA will love him for it.
Even if he didn't do it?
Who cares whether he did it? You have kids, Phelps? He needs to be taken permanently out of harm's way.
And we let Mueller slide?
For a while. He gets a free pass for now.
I don't know about this. My gut says Mueller. We caught him trying to destroy evidence in his backyard, and that was his car with the bloody tools in it.
I never said it wasn't Mueller. Hell, he probably killed his wife, deprived that poor kid of a mother. But he's not an immediate danger to anyone else. Rooney's a threat to every kid at Belmont.
He's a peeper, Rusty. We can pick him up for something else.
You really want to run that risk?
They should make a game like Noire, but it based on today.
Yeah, I agree. I'm trying to think if there was games like this, though, but I can't... The only thing I can think that's kind of close to it is the CSI games. But those aren't really modern, because the license for the CSI games was owned by Ubisoft, and Ubisoft lost that license ages ago. Yeah, there really isn't much for police games, is there? There's the police simulator games, but they're not like this. They're less detective-y and more patrol officer.
Phelps!
Okay, that was not my fault. That police officer... Is he dead? Did I kill the cop? Oh, okay. He drove through that intersection like a bat out of hell without his sirens on, so that ain't my fault.
Phelps, Rusty, thanks for coming.
Can you blood type the shoes that we bagged and see if they're a match?
Sure. It'll all be in the report, but I'm assuming you want the details now?
Please. Cause of death is strangulation?
Correct.
Remember me from yesterday?
Yeah, I believe so. What's up? I think, yeah, you watched my live stream of LA Noire yesterday, didn't you? Or was it Deadpool that you watched? I can't remember. Because I did Deadpool the video game yesterday as well.
We've got to nail this guy.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not going to be the middle one. It's not even the same rope size. Come on. Yes, she was strangled by a shoelace.
On boats, mooring lines.
Correct. Although Ray says that they're sometimes used as bell ropes in churches.
I just subscribed. I love your streams.
Oh, thank you very much. Greatly appreciated.
So are we looking for a sailor or a
I try to stream 2 to 3 games a day.
Greater libido.
That's my plan for the channel anyway.
No external or internal traces of semen.
Thanks, Mal. Anything else comes up, you let us know.
So after LA Noire, after today's LA Noire stream, I'm gonna do not Ghostbusters. I finished Ghostbusters. I'm gonna do more Deadpool. Hopefully that stream works better than it did yesterday because we had some glitches in that game yesterday. I don't know if that's a fault of the PS5 because I know that some games that are PS4 don't work very well on PS5. But hopefully. If there are any glitches today, hopefully the glitches from yesterday are resolved today.
Coroner's office. Carruthers is a good
that'd be
man,
nice.
Professional, diligent. If you're working with a pro, it's easy to overlook the grim realities of a place like that.
Funny job, that. The coroners.
How so?
You don't want them enjoying their work too much. The wrong kind of man can get awfully lonely rattling around a joint full of corpses.
Rusty, that's like something out of the pulps.
You've been reading the same ones as me?
I thought you were usually too drunk to get through a magazine.
If I close one eye and squint, you can just about make out the print.
I love the little detail of the Richard Nixon sign here. That's really cool. The most crooked politician in history. Well, one of them anyway. Most politicians are pretty crooked, but Richard Nixon was very crooked. Alrighty, I think this is where we are, right here.
You better not go soft on me in here, Phelps.
We'll work the evidence. Are they ready?
Moeller's in 2 and the pervert's in 1. Get in there and get a conviction.
It's so stupid that we have to... Didn't we already interrogate Mueller? Why do we have to interrogate him again? That doesn't make any sense.
I say we...
Oh, no, we
Here's
didn't.
where we stand.
That's right.
Your next-door neighbor heard screaming coming from your house. You were burning your blood-stained shoes. You have no one who can confirm your whereabouts last night. Your daughter says you're a violent man. We have everything we need to send you to death row, and all you have to say for yourself is, I didn't do it.
I swear I didn't kill her. Give me that lie test. I can prove it.
Why did you burn your shoes, Hugo?
Because I knew you'd never believe me.
Wow, that's a great answer. Yeah, that definitely doesn't convict you. I know he didn't do it. I mean, you have the option of interrogating both these guys, getting all the answers right from either one of them, and then convicting whomever you choose. Obviously, the killer is Eli Rooney. It's obvious. But, I mean, Hugo Mueller doesn't exactly help his case by saying stupid things like that. Why did you burn your shoes? Because I know you wouldn't believe me. That's your response? That's terrible. That just proves you're guilty.
Are you going to tell me what I want to know, or do we have to take it out of you in lumps?
Damn it. I answered that wrong.
It's your best shot. I can take whatever you're throwing.
What? You can take whatever I'm throwing. Wow, are you threatening me now? You cocky son of a bitch.
Do you know anything about ropes, Hugo?
As much as the next man. I was a scout. I learned some more in the Army.
Do you know anything about braided ropes?
Yeah, again.
They're mainly used for mooring lines, hawsers, that kind of stuff. We don't have much use for them in the machine shop. We use chain hoists.
It's a good thing I'm not arresting this guy, because I'm already screwing up the entire interrogation.
Your wife was beaten with a tire iron, Hugo. An appropriate choice of tool for a mechanic.
I know nothing about any tire iron.
See, this is the problem. Their darting eyes make me think that it's... Oh, wait a minute.
You're lying, Hugo. You're gonna have to come clean on this.
You got no proof.
Your wife drove a Chevrolet, Hugo. What make of car do you drive?
A Chrysler Airflow.
So I guess that explains why the tire iron that killed your wife came from a Chrysler.
Yes, because there's only one Chrysler in the world in Los Angeles. There's only one Chrysler vehicle, and it clearly belongs to Hugo. Definitely nobody else.
We found your wife's car. Someone parked it at the school late last night. Do you have anything to say about that?
It wasn't me.
Where do you keep your work clothes?
I keep them at work in my locker.
Enough lies, Hugo. Your overalls put you at the scene of the crime last night.
My overalls are in the laundry of my house.
Green overalls, bloodstained, with the initials HM found in the trunk of your wife's car.
They can't be mine.
Why, Hugo? Because if they were yours, they'd be in the incinerator too?
At the end of the day, I don't... So... At the end of the day, I don't know if it was Hugo Muller who murdered his wife. I know that Captain Donnelly always wants you to go after...
Captain, we were on our way to interview Eli Rooney.
Yes, Phelps, I know. This particular fiend is an old acquaintance. I have tried to reaffirm his belief in a wrathful and terrible God. Whichever way it goes, I'll be dealing personally with him.
Yeah, so Captain Donnelly always wants you to go after the one who's a scumbag and just blame murders on them.
In my country, it's 2300 hours, so good night. See you tomorrow.
Absolutely, you have a wonderful night. Take care.
You down on your luck, Eli?
I had worse. My family ate roadkill during the Dust Bowl.
But you have a job. A parolee has to have a job, correct?
I had me a job down in San Pedro. I'm looking for something new.
This place you worked have a name?
Hennessy Marine. You can't miss the place. Big yellow letters, HM out front.
They give you any workwear, Eli?
Sure. Green coverall. Dang thing was hot. Felt like I was back in the pen wearing it.
You ever tie up any of your victims, Eli?
It's not a nice thing to go calling them.
What would you call them?
I can't say. I learned a long time ago not to go talking about the things I like. Talking about it just seems to get people's dander up.
Answer the goddamn question, Rooney, before I brain you.
See what I mean? Short answer is yes.
You have any preference regarding rope, Eli?
I know a good rope from a bad rope, if that's what you mean. That's not what you mean, is it? Any old rope will do me fine.
Farm boy like you, Eli, must prefer McGay for roping. Am I right?
I prefer braid. You tie a hitch and braid, it stays tied.
You killed Mrs. Muller and stole her jewelry.
That ain't so. I ain't done nothing like that.
You're a liar, Eli. You needed the money, so you killed her.
I've been around some, son. You got some evidence that proves I stole that butterfly from that woman?
I want to say overalls, but that doesn't really... Ah, boy.
Looks like I made a mistake.
I'm just going to use the intuition again for this, because I feel like I might be screwing this up. Yeah, okay, it's bad cop. That's what I figured.
You have no job and nowhere to live by the smell of things, and you need money. You've been in trouble before, Eli. Who do you think a jury will believe?
I've been in trouble for other things, but I ain't never killed no one. I saw that car coming to the parking lot late last night. Man got changed there and then put his coveralls in the trunk. I saw him drop the butterfly in the lamplight and he strolled out, cool as you like. And I went over and I picked it up.
Eli Rooney, I'm charging you with the first-degree murder of Deirdre Muller.
You want to put me back if I stir that badly, boy? You go ahead and try. I'll beat that rap. I ain't a killer.
Phelps, Galloway, congratulations are at hand. Drink, boys? I think you'll receive a commendation for this one, gentlemen. In the meantime, I'll speak to the DA about expediting the passage of the case. We need swift and merciless justice for poor Deirdre.
Ah, 3 stars. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. It's a good thing that when I initially played this game, I got 5 stars, because it keeps your last ranking. And see, 5-star ranking on every fucking case. So, I initially was really good at this game. Not so much now, apparently. But I was initially when I played it. Alright. Let's see what the time is right now. Alright, I think we can do one more case. We'll just do one more case and we'll call it a stream for L.A. Noire.
Phelps. I was just discussing with Finbar here how well you were doing. Have a seat.
Yeah, my real name. And you can just forget all about it.
You boys have a new case. A poor Hispanic woman murdered near City Hall and left lying naked in an alleyway.
Another naked woman, sir?
Yes. We seem to have had quite a run of them since the Dahlia fiend first struck.
Phelps is politely trying to hint that he thinks the Mendez case is hokey.
Well, young Phelps, you win some and you lose some in police work.
You're happy with the Muller case, sir?
Over the moon, boys! The DA couldn't be more pleased with the evidence, the witness, and the lack of an alibi. Now, get out there and catch me another sinner.
I feel like the biggest issue with Captain Donnelly is he's more political than interested in law enforcement, because he's just interested in taking, as he puts it, heathens off the street. He doesn't care whether they're innocent or guilty.
You have the address?
It's the alley off.
Which is very strange. That's not how a cop should work.
You're kidding. The next one will be
He's
opposite
probably
Central
one of the
Station.
most crooked
Count
cops in the
yourself
game.
Lucky, Phelps. Most guys would kill to land a case so close to their desk.
Yeah. It means they can pop in to hit the office supply of hooch whenever they need it.
You know, that ain't a bad idea. That is not a bad idea at all, Phelps.
Detectives, they're ready to start the show. I'll take you through.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
Crothers, Pinker?
Cause of death is pretty apparent. We thought we'd best wait for you. When you're ready.
Lacerations on the neck would indicate a great deal of force. Another wedding ring torn from the finger. No skin under the fingernails. Only 21 years old. But why the library card? Did he want us to find it? Kiss the blood, BD. The evidence in the Mueller case was solid. I'm not convinced about Mendez.
The best way to get away with murder is to pin it on somebody else. I'll bet a month's salary this is a copycat.
Strangled, battered, naked.
Yeah. We know the M.O. So does every jerk who kills his wife and girlfriend looking for a way out. I've spoken to Brown. He still believes the Dahlia perp has medical experience.
4 women, all murdered, all put on display, all with messages.
Mueller had no message. Look, Phelps, this is getting us nowhere.
Anything for us to go on, Mal?
Head injuries from contact with road, bruising from a small man's shoe, further blunt force trauma to the occipital region at the base of the skull. Could have been fatal, but clear signs of strangulation would seem to rule it out.
Lipstick appears to be a similar color to the other cases. I'll see if I can nail down a brand.
May as well follow the trail. Antonia. Huh. Same as the library card.
Yes, clearly that's what I wanted you to pick up. Not the shoe. The cup.
Proximity to the scene, plus the bloodstains. No way is this coincidence.
We kept the area pristine for you boys. Let's check it out.
Now, just an FYI for you guys here, Rockstar did confirm this is an Easter egg. You go over here. This is John Marston's hat from Red Dead Redemption 1. So that little Easter egg to Red Dead Redemption 1 right there. Anyway, let's get back on the case.
House keys strung up like bait on a hook. You think he's trying to lead us somewhere?
Probably all the way to City Hall, that brazen son of a bitch.
That's got to be a code or a cipher. Where are you taking us? Empty. Where is all of this meant to be taking us? He clearly wants us to find these things. He's left them for us.
There you go, Phelps. You got a new M.O. I told you it wasn't our guy.
Or he might just be getting more confident. Enameled and gold-plated. This was precious to her.
God, how many times is a train going by in this game? This must be the third time I've heard those train tracks. Crazy. A lot of trains.
Pulled from the finger and hung up here. What's the significance? Looks as though the killer was decorating with this. Son of a bitch wants her identified. Mrs. Antonia Maldonado, 712 North Hill Street, downtown.
Okay, that music is still playing, which means that I must have missed something. A key piece of evidence. I'm assuming it's something over at the crime scene that I accidentally... Yeah, figured as much.
If she took a blow to the head like the others, she was probably unconscious when strangled.
Can we discuss this later?
Frequency 2 stands by.
It
it was Mrs. Maldonado, right?
That's affirmative.
All right, so then there's a husband we should be looking for. Get him, we've closed the case.
Rusty's razor, of course. I don't want to question your tried and tested techniques, Detective Galloway, but doesn't the DA require sound casework before he'll close the book?
Not if he's got a confession. And, you know, there's ways of getting it.
I'm sure.
Wait just a moment. I'm sorry. Can I help you?
LAPD, ma'am. Detective Phelps and Galloway. Does Mrs. Maldonado live here?
Yes, she does. I'm Mrs. Barbara LaPenta, the owner of this boarding house. Is there a problem?
I'm afraid so, ma'am. Do you mind if we come in? Is there somewhere we can discuss this?
Of course. Follow me through to the parlor. Wipe your feet as you come in, detectives. It's this way.
Mrs. Maldonado was found dead this morning.
Dead? Oh, no. She can't be.
I'm afraid she was murdered, ma'am. We need to take a look at her things.
I can't believe it. A person seems so alive, and then they're gone. Antonia's room is upstairs, last door on the left.
Thank you. We'll be back shortly.
Excuse us a moment, ma'am. What are we waiting for?
Would you look at that? Someone's turned the place over.
Miss Antonia Isabel Maldonado, care of Parsons Boarding House, 712 North Hill Street, downtown Los Angeles, California. Antonia, further to my previous correspondence of August 7th, I am writing to inform you that your petition to the Superior Court of the State of California has been accepted and a court date scheduled. Your case, docket number 98765, will be heard on September 17th. I am told that
we have an address.
I am told that your husband, Angel Christopher Maldonado, residing at 304-1330 in Hill Street, Los Angeles, California, has been served with the official papers and is on notice to appear at the Central District Court on the above date. Though it is not essential, and many women in your position choose not to do so, I would advise you also to appear at the Central District Court on the scheduled date. In my experience, a woman plaintiff's presence in cases like this one can do much to influence proceedings. And if your husband does not appear on September 17th, which you have told me is likely, then it can only help our chances. Yours sincerely, Frederick D. Tattersall.
A smashed window explains why the place looks tossed.
You know how I feel about windows, Phelps.
So someone broke in using this thing instead of a crowbar. Wonder where it was taken from. The charm bracelet wasn't among the crime scene evidence. We have some questions, ma'am, if you're up to it.
Yes, Detective. I'll do my best.
Do you have any idea who might have wanted to hurt Mrs. Maldonado?
That rat of her husband, Angel. She was serving him divorce papers.
If I killed every wife to serve me papers, I'd be a mass murderer.
Are you being flippant, young man?
No, ma'am.
What can you tell us about Angel Maldonado?
She married him when she was 17. He was cruel to her, very cruel. She was a good girl, little on the religious side, but a good girl.
What time did Antonia go out yesterday?
She left around 9.
Do you know where she went?
No, I have no idea. She was a good girl, but she didn't confide in me.
A nosy old hag like you knows everything about the people who live under her roof. Where did she go?
I think she went to a bar. She's been drinking quite a lot lately.
This bar have a name?
El Dorado Bar. It's a Latino place on North Los Angeles Street.
That's only a couple of blocks from where we found the body.
You've had a break-in?
No. That can't be true.
You're being economical with the truth, Mrs. Lepenti. What do you have to hide?
I have no idea what you are talking about.
So Antonia lost her keys and used an iron bar to jimmy the back window?
I heard a noise in the early hours of the morning. I thought it might be a raccoon at the milk bottles. It'd be very bad for business if this news got out. I have a reputation to protect.
Antonia and her husband were estranged?
Yes. She moved here after she separated from her husband 2 months ago.
But Antonia still wore a wedding ring?
She wore the wedding ring and a necklace. She always wore a religious necklace. That's about all of her jewelry.
What about her bracelet?
I don't know anything about a bracelet.
In her wedding photo, she's displaying a charm bracelet.
That thing? She never wore it. He gave it to her. She always kept it in that wooden jewelry box.
Thanks, ma'am. You've been very helpful.
Pay a call to that husband of hers. Lock him up and throw away the key.
We can either front Angel, seeing as the finger's pointing right at him, or we could check out the El Dorado one.
A nosy old hag? Ah! And I thought I was coming on strong with the ex-wives line.
Sometimes you have to be firm to get the information you need.
God damn it, ain't that the truth?
You don't think it's strange that all these murders are happening to girls who've been out drinking?
No. A broad drinks, she gets a bit tight, she starts mouthing off. This leads to that, and she ends up in an alleyway. It's a sad story, but this town's seen it play out 1,000 times, Dad.
Why don't you want to see a connection here?
Gently. Because there are perfectly good real-life suspects for every one of these murders. We don't need to go looking for the monster under the bed.
Think there's anything to the divorce angle?
I've been through 3, Phelps. No big deal. After a while.
What can I get you?
LAPD. Detectives Phelps and Galloway.
Diego Aguilar. How can I help?
You worked the bar last night?
Yeah. Me and a temp guy from the agency.
Did you have a woman in here last night? 21 years old, Hispanic, drinking heavily?
We have a lot of ladies like that in here. But yeah, I know who you mean. Antonia Maldonado. What did she do?
She was murdered last night.
Oh, shit.
Do you know her well? Was she a regular?
Hell no. She was good and tight last night, complaining about her old man. It's a story you get used to working in a bar. She was so hammered last night, she left a letter on the bar. I'll show you.
Sam has taken me to Palm Springs for the weekend.
Divorce papers? Did you open them?
No need to. She was shouting about it and waving the letter around. Said she was going to show him.
Can you remember what jewelry she was wearing?
She had a necklace. Some kind of religious thing, I think. The temp guy would have more of an idea. She took the beer he served her and cried into it all night.
What time did she leave?
Can't say for sure.
Where did she go? Give me something or the LAPD will start getting interested in this place.
Take it easy. She wanted a cab, okay? And my phone was out of order. The closest one I knew was at the fruit market across the street, so I suggested she try there. She seemed reluctant.
Did Antonia say where she was going when she left?
She said she was going to serve the papers on the husband. Said that would take the smile off his face. If you ask me, she was scared. And the drink was for Dutch courage.
She attract any interest?
An extremely drunk young woman? What do you think? She managed to scare them off, though.
Thanks. You've been a big help.
No problem. Hey, get the guy, will you?
We'll do our best. One last question. What size shoe do you take, Mr. Aguilar?
A broad 9. I have wide feet.
Say, honey, what time do you get off waiting tables?
Sir, do you work here?
Sorry, pal, just making deliveries.
From where?
Just Pig Fruit Market across the street.
A fruit market delivers here?
Yeah, sure does. The Mexes love a little slice with their tequila.
Fine, thanks.
Alright, one quick second. The battery on my controller has died, so I'm just gonna plug that in. Give me one moment here. Alright, we're good.
shut. Great. We'll need to come back later, Phelps. Maybe somebody here saw Antonia the night she died.
How about we drop in on the husband instead? See if your gut is right.
I'll take a bar over a husband every day of the week. Hey!
Phelps, this could turn ugly. Forget about knocking. Let's take our boy by surprise.
Hey, what the fuck?
LAPD, motherfucker, you're under arrest.
Now look, I don't want no trouble, see? I got nothing to...
Stay back, or I'll have to put you down.
Damn, they got some decent shots in there. Cuff these sons of bitches, Phelps.
LAPD, you two are under arrest. Call for some backup, Finbar.
Galloway, badge number 564. I need a prowl car at the apartment building 330 North Hill Street. 2 suspects need transporting to Central.
Your wife has been murdered, Angel.
Antonia? Oh, God, no!
Where were you last night, Angel?
I was here with my brother the whole night, goddammit! You think I'd kill my own wife?
We should get the whole place going over, then talk to the neighbors. And Phelps, I don't care that you just got smacked in the head. You don't call me Finbar.
This will take some explaining.
Maybe one of the neighbors took notice of Angel's move.
Just picked fruit market. I wonder if Angel gets all his groceries from this place.
What do you want?
LAPD. We're making some inquiries.
Make it quick. I work nights.
So you weren't home last night?
No, I was at work.
You know nothing about Mrs. Maldonado fighting with her husband?
Those two? They're always screaming the place down.
Thanks.
No good. Nobody here.
Hey, sorry about that. I'm playing with my kids.
LAPD, were you here last night?
Yeah. My wife and I are separated, and I had the kids last night. I put them to bed early and went to bed myself.
Thanks.
Hello?
LAPD, ma'am. Did you hear a disturbance last night?
Yes. Yes, I did. Mrs. Maldonado lit out of here, and her husband ran out after her.
You saw this, Miss?
Aranda. I had the door open a crack.
Did you see Mr. Maldonado come back inside after he ran out?
No. I didn't.
Thanks. We'll be in touch.
I kept thinking you were going to call that one a nosy old hag too, Phelps. Well-executed restraint.
I'm executing restraint right now, Finbar.
It's him, the cop from the newspapers.
Cole Phelps, badge 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
Messages for me, please.
Message from Captain Donnelly, Detective. Your presence is requested urgently at Central Station. A new letter from the Dahlia killer has been found.
Thanks, ma'am. Another letter? I thought the letter was from a nut.
These letters, Brown and Hanson believe they are genuine. From him.
And now he sent another.
You know, I really hate this fuck. This Black Dahlia guy. Have you seen the body? The fucking case just gnaws away at your guts. Hollywood. Every prom queen from every fucking hick town in America turns up here. Where do they end up? Gutted on the fucking sidewalk.
The captain is waiting for you downstairs with Pinker.
Hey, I gave his wife
Boys, come on in. Phelps, have you met Finis Brown?
Pleased to meet you, sir.
This information is confidential and doesn't leave this room.
The new letter was left in the back seat of a cab. The driver thinks it was put through the window and not left by a customer.
We're checking all the fares back 24 hours regardless.
Good.
Like the previous letters, it's been assembled from headlines and type from the Times and Examiner, then glued to an envelope.
What is the other note?
This one? That's also new. A poem, hand-typed.
Do you mind if I take a look?
Go ahead. We've been over both documents pretty carefully. They've been wiped with gasoline, so there's no chance of prints.
What on earth is that man doing?
That's the message from the Celine Henry case. Heap upon thy soul by virtue of this curse.
That's why we called you in.
Do you think it's original?
Not unless he's a genius.
You like this nutjob's poem?
No, I like Shelley. It was written at least 100 years ago.
Shelley? Sure, I knew that.
You see, Finnis? I told you this lad was a bright boy.
Sure, but what has it got to do with the case?
Prometheus Unbound. Prometheus was a titan, a superhuman character who defied the gods to bring fire to humanity.
The Dahlia guy believes he's Superman.
Your guess is as good as mine. One thing for sure is that he's educated. What about the link to the Henry case?
He could have got the wording from the papers. As you said, he is fiendishly clever and takes pleasure in taunting us. What's happening with the Maldonado case?
We have the husband in custody. We haven't interviewed him yet.
Well, upstairs then, lads, and see if we can break him.
Goddamn evidence.
I want to make homicide.
Improved your attitude, Angel?
What do you want me to say? I was with Antonia the night she died, but she left the apartment, and that was the last time I saw her.
So your wife paid you a visit last night. What time was that?
Late, around midnight, maybe? She didn't stay long.
You're lying, Angel. You went after her. I think you killed her.
You're out of your mind. My brother will tell you I was at home.
We have a witness who confirms that you were arguing, that your wife ran out, that you followed her, and didn't come back.
I know this looks bad, but it's not true. We argued, all right, but she went out, and I went out after her, and she jumped in a car on the corner.
There was a car waiting for her? Can you describe the driver?
Not the driver. It was too dark. But the car, it was a brown Ford coupe.
You and your wife weren't getting along. She was divorcing you. Is that why you killed her?
We fought, yeah, but we weren't getting a divorce.
I don't believe you, Angel. She'd been granted a decree nisi. She pushed you too far, and you lashed out.
I told you, I wouldn't accept a divorce.
The judge had set a date. You were going to be paraded in front of the whole city for your cruelty to her, Angel.
Antonia. Oh, Jesus. She came in drunk, out of her mind. She doesn't normally drink. She was looking around in her bag. Said she wanted to serve me papers. Me, her own husband. So I slapped her down. She ran out. That's the truth.
What size shoe do you wear, Angel?
Size 8. What difference does that make?
When we found your wife, her jewelry had been removed. Was she wearing her religious medallion last night?
Sure. She always wore that.
What about the charm bracelet? Was she wearing that?
You know about that? She never wore it. She didn't like the message. She kept it locked up in that box of hers.
Your wife has been brutally murdered. So how do you explain your shirt being covered in blood?
You found that? I cut myself shaving.
We're typing the blood, Angel. It won't look good if it matches your wife.
As God is my witness, I didn't kill her!
One last question, Angel. Do the words kiss the blood mean anything to you?
No. Sounds sick to me.
You're not in the clear by any means, Angel. You're going back into a cell. You should think about whether you have anything else you need to share with us.
I'm thinking of moving up to a 45. I want to stop him with one round.
I swear. Give me a break.
Are you working?
Sir, Wait, you look familiar.
Hey, from the bar, right? What brings you here?
LAPD, Detective Phelps and Galloway.
Clem Feeney. What can I do for you?
Did you happen to see a young woman last night? 21 years old, Hispanic?
Sure, she came by last night. Why do you ask?
She was wearing a necklace?
I didn't notice.
You weren't paying attention, Feeney?
Hey, you're getting the wrong idea.
Exactly how much fruit do you sell here after midnight, Clem?
Look, not much. I sell the odd bottle on the side to the after-hours crowd. Look, I don't want any trouble. I'm just trying to make a buck.
The young lady arrived around midnight?
Yeah, something like that. Used the phone for a cab and then left.
You already knew Mrs. Maldonado, didn't you, Clem?
Sure, I met her before. She seemed like a nice lady. Her husband went apeshit one day when he caught me talking to her. She had me back until last night.
Where did she go from here?
She wanted a cab, but I couldn't get her one. I was about to offer to drive her, but a car pulled up and she got into that.
Can you describe the car?
Brown Ford Coupe, I think. She seemed to know the guy.
Do you mind if we look around?
Why would you want to do that?
Because We say so.
I guess you can. Don't you have to get a court order or something? I have rights.
Clem? Shh. No wonder he stays open late at night. People have to get their vitamins. Check through this stuff before we get back out there.
Why cut someone who was already dead?
It's a typical power thing. Once the stiff is dead, the creep usually feels they can do whatever they like. They must have seen it during the war.
So what are we hiding in here? This thing needs a combination.
This fruit stall punk gets about 10 seconds to explain before I pull his fucking arms off.
Clem!
God damn it, get after him, Cole. I'll try to shoot out his tires. Wish me luck. Hit him, Cole. Spin him out.
We should have grabbed him when we had the chance, Phelps.
When we had the chance, we didn't know he was our guy. Strange that he'd leave a trail of blood right back to his own market.
Maybe he wanted to be caught. A lot of them do.
Don't go to sleep on me. Get me back in close.
It's almost too perfect, isn't it?
There's no such thing as too perfect.
I'll try to shoot out his tires. Wish me luck. Hit him. Clean this asshole off the road.
You're a sick man, Clem. You need help.
Outstanding job on this case, gentlemen. The poor woman can now rest in peace. I'll pay the fiend a personal visit myself and remind him that crime in this city does not go unpunished. When they finish with him at the receiving hospital, we'll have him up before the grand jury. I have a meeting this afternoon with the mayor lads. I'll be sure to mention your names. Now, on your way.
Alrighty, so that was the final case for today. I find that funny that Donnelly, Captain Donnelly, just like fucking confiscates some of the booze for himself. What a guy! What an upstanding officer of the law he is. Anyway, so yeah, that's that. So thank you very much to Novus for being here today, and O Melon Slayer. I believe I said that right, I think. Anyway, thank you very much to the two of you for tuning in today, and everybody else who was watching and is watching after the fact. It's always greatly appreciated. If you like what you see, please consider liking and subscribing. I cover PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, PC, and VR games. If any of that interests you, please consider liking and subscribing. Over on my YouTube channel, you'll find a playlist section of all of the previous live streams that I've done. If, as an example, you missed one of the previous live streams of L.A. Noire, simply go over to my playlist section, look up L.A. Noire, you'll find all of the previous live streams in there. You'll also find a joint collaboration section. This is a section where I've worked with other YouTubers. You can find those videos in there. If you like anything in those videos, consider liking and subscribing to those YouTubers as well. Anyway, that's it for me, guys. Thank you once again for tuning in. Tune in a couple of hours' time. We're going to continue on with Deadpool, the video game. At some point, I'm also going to... I think I'm just going to do 2 streams today. And I might do a third. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But if I do a third, it's kind of up in the air what I'm going to do. I haven't really decided yet. But it'll be some game or another. Closer towards the end of the month, when Ghostwire Tokyo comes out for the PS5, I will be live streaming that game. So look forward to some new games being live streamed, as well as these old classic games. I kind of want to cover everything on my channel. At some point, I do want to get back into PC games and streaming some of that, but at the current moment in time, I don't foresee that happening, because I seem to have a problem with live streaming on my PC, where it'll stream just fine, but as soon as it gets to YouTube, for some reason, my mic audio is all staticky. So I always thought it was a problem on my end, but it seems like it's a problem with YouTube more than anything on my end, because it's nothing I've been able to resolve. Anyway, thank you once again, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful day, and thanks again from the Gamer's Grotto. I will see you guys in a couple of hours' time for more of Deadpool, the video game. Take care and have a fantastic day.